So guys, a quick recap. In our last mission, we successfully brought one of our boosters back to the launch site and proved that reusing our rockets is actually possible. So instead of building a brand new launcher in today's mission, I wanted to see just how far we could push that same booster by giving it a few upgrades. The goal today is simple: launch our first crew into low Earth orbit and bring them safely back home, and not to forget also the booster. I'm just making a few last-minute upgrades before we launch. You might notice I added an extra engine to each of the side boosters to help deal with the extra weight from the crew capsule and fuel. I won't lie, this rocket might be a little overpowered, but hey, we're playing in hard mode, so I'd rather have a bit more performance than not enough. I definitely need to take a few rocket building classes or something. Anyway, I think we're ready. Let's get this crew into orbit. Alright, the side boosters have done their job. Looking at our fuel, I think we should have enough propellant left to bring the booster back to the launch site. At least, that's the plan. We've come far enough. Let's leave the final stage to do its thing for now. We'll keep an eye on the booster, but first I just want to make sure our crew is on a good trajectory toward low Earth orbit. Once that's looking good, we'll switch back and focus on bringing the booster home. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. That should give our crew enough time to stay on course. Now let's get back to the booster. I'm going to do a controlled boost back burn and hopefully line it up with the launch site for the return. So far we're looking pretty good. The booster's velocity is under control, so I think we're in a decent spot. Now, I don't like seeing our crew vehicle drifting too far downrange, so let's get back to it and clean up that trajectory. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but this Frontier engine is actually really efficient. I honestly thought we'd need another stage with a Valiant or even a Colibri engine, but it looks like this setup is doing just fine. If everything keeps going like this, we should make it to orbit with plenty of fuel to spare. That burn went nice and smooth. I'm happy with that trajectory. It should give us enough time to focus on the booster without having to worry about the crew vehicle for a while. Whoa, we almost burned up there. That fuel margin is making me nervous. I honestly don't know. Well, I think it's officially time for Plan B. Let's get those landing legs out. Keep your praises. Turns out I should be the one teaching you guys how to build rockets. El Professor's class starts tomorrow, at 8. I'm kidding. I'm definitely still learning. Alright, enough about the booster. Let's get back to our crew. They're getting pretty close to orbit. And we've done it. We've successfully completed every objective for today's mission. I'm not going to spend too much time in orbit though. We've still got to save enough fuel for re-entry. I definitely don't want a repeat of what happened during the Mars mission. Well, we can't call ourselves Deorbit and stay up here forever. Let's head home. The plan is to bring the crew down as close to the Space Center as I can. The closer we land, the faster the recovery team can get to them. Alright, time for re-entry. Let's make sure this one ends a little better than our Mars mission. Listen to that. The capsule is literally fighting its way through the atmosphere right now. Not exactly where I wanted us to land, but we're only a few kilometers short of the Space Center. I'd call that a successful recovery. Now I'm curious. Should we build a dedicated recovery vehicle for future missions? I have a feeling someone watching already has a blueprint we could try. But before that, should we recover this capsule the old-fashioned way? Let me know what you think in the comments. Until the next mission, this is Deorbit.